Okay, how to do the first one? Okay, let's define a list first. Words. Okay, words. List equals what you're gonna have. We have A B A, and we're gonna have aqua. B to Z and B to B. Okay, we have Nizam. Right. Okay, we have here words. You can have any right. Okay. And then I want to display to count the number of strings from a given list of strings. Length is 2 or more, and the first and the last characters are the same. Right. Then okay. Now I want to write a for loop. Okay, let's say we have to have a count equals 0. Then we'll have for loop for I invert, I inverts, no brackets required for I inverts. Right. And the length, if the length should be greater than 2, if the length is greater than 2 and should be 2 or more, 2 or more, 2 or more, greater than or equals to 2. And the first character and the first character is equals to the last character. Okay, either we can get again length I minus 1th index, or we can try out the negative index. If it is match, we could say count plus equals 1. And also we can display that word print time. Right. And then at the end we could display print count equals count. Words. Right. Yeah. Let's save in the desktop. tx.py. What does it say? Unterminated string literal. Unterminated string literal. Okay, what could be the error here now? Anyone?
Is it because in the list for ABA there is no in closing inverted commas? We have not closed the inverted commas.
I have not closing.
The inverted commas for ABA.
ABA, exactly. Right. Thank you. Right. Right, now it says count 5. 1, 2, 3, A, aqua, B to B, Nizam. Right, altogether I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, now let's have A, C, likewise. Now you can see still I'm getting only 5. Now because length is 2 or more. The words which has length above 2 or equal to 2 and the first character and the last character is the same, then it should display and it should count. Now these are the values. Right.
So can you clarify that I within square brackets -1 is there?
Last index.
Yeah. What
Yes,
is that?
last index.
Yeah.
You
Can
will
you?
verify that. Okay, let me
Yeah.
print. Sorry. Will print the I0 and 0 index, comma, -1 index. Okay, first character, last character, first character, last character, it displays. The negative index we discussed last week, no?
Yes.
Okay?
Now understand.
Right. Okay. Second and third is very easy. Quickly try out and send me the answers, please. Right now, what you have to do, we can let's copy these numbers. Okay, shall I erase this? We have done this. Right now, let's erase. For I in N, and let's have another list as well. Star empty list. And then I can say, okay, which method I should add, to add into the N. I want to add the elements to the N. Which method I should use? Insert, append, what? What method I can use? What does the insert method? What does the append method?
Insert.
Insert. Okay, how the insert method behave? Tell me. How the insert method behaves? I can't remember now. Yes, how the insert method works?
You should first add the index to which you want to add the value to, and then the value which should be added.
Right now, if you use the insert method, you can specify the specified index, no? But if you want to just add to the end of the method, like you can easily go with the append. Therefore, we can write what? How can I do it now? We need to append what for the scar list. Scar list dot append to the end right now because it's an empty list now. Sq dot append. What we need to do? Scar value of I into I, and thereafter we could print the n list n, and thereafter we could print the square list, right? Like this, you can do it easily, right? I hope you have done it. Then I have received one from Taruk. Taruk, the next one, yes, you have done send the answer for this one, right? Okay, others. Now we have to start now. Send me the answer also for this one quickly. Only Taruk did, is it? Okay, quickly send me. I'll give 1 more minute, please. Right. Now let's try out this one. Okay, we have XY. Right now, how to do this one? So the name equals XY. Okay, now. Okay, who send this one? Kavita. For I in. Wow. Kavita, I can't understand that how this work. Can you explain the code? And Taruka also, can you explain this? How can you do this? Yes, anyone? Okay, this is what I have received. For I in range. For I in range. Okay, length x. If you have another list called name, name dot append x plus Why? Okay, now what's the problem here? And then, okay, the problem here is the index number. Yeah, now you can see this is how we can do it. Right. Using the list comprehension also, you could do this in one line. That also you could write it inside here. Try that one as well. Right. Now we have done with this. And the last one, remove the empty strings from the list of strings. Quickly try out. Right, the answer I have received now, let's say, okay, what is this? If I change I for I x I for in x I. Okay, here, what do you check here? I can't understand. Can anyone explain it to me? Yes, can anyone explain it to me, please? Yes, Taruka, Padmasri, just tell me, Taruka, how this works. Yes, it creates a new list. It includes each element I from X only if I is not an empty string. Right. Okay. Now here, what do you check now? Okay. Okay. Now let's figure out now what does that means. Like now using if condition, if you check an empty string, what will it return? Now this is you are using what? List comprehension. You are using list comprehension. Right. Okay. Now, in other terms, how can you do this in simple manner where everyone can understand easily? How can you do this? Right now. Okay. First, now, okay, there's something to learn. Right now, what happens if I means what you are printing? Okay, if I means let's say empty string, can you check like this? Will it return anything? Okay, how can I check whether when you use if condition with empty string, what it will return? Okay, that's the question. If empty string, what it would return? Okay, why is this? Let's say it is right. Can I check like this? How can I check this? Okay, anyone please quickly tell me. Okay, I'm going to do it like this now. Right, now what's gonna happen? Now it can return false. Like now, if you check this with an empty string, if you check an empty string, this is returning false. Right now, you have learned something new. When you check a string value, if it is an empty string, that will return false. And if you check a string value which contains some text, then that would return true. If it is an empty, that would return false. Right now, okay, now what you're gonna do, what you need to do, okay, in simple terms, we could write now here. Now the same thing here we could write for in x, if not I, if you have a list, let's say y, if you have a list called y, I could say y dot append I, and then finally I can print y. Right now, do this if I in x, if not I, right. Okay, x is capital here. Right now you can see it returns only the empty strings now. If not I, that means if this is, if not I returns what now? If not I am using not I, that means if not an empty string, if this is not an empty string, right? Now, okay, not I means what? Right, then how can we correct it? If you use a not operator, that means it checks for the other way around. If in not return true, if it is a valid string, then only it will return true. Then the output would be like this. If you say if not I, that means if I is an empty string, then only that will appear. Now that's why previously we got this answer. Right now that is how we use the not operator as well. Right. Okay, certainly we have discussed many exercises under list, and then I think removing items in a specific index also we discuss. That means remove method and the pop method also we have discussed. Is it? Have we discussed about the clear method? What happens if you use the clear method? What happens if you use the clear method? Can someone tell me please what is the remove method does? The remove method? Zithil, can you remember what the remove method does? Okay, have we discussed about removing items from a list? I want an answer from you.
Element from a list.
Yes, when you use the remove method, what it does?
It's remove an element from a list.
Remove an element from the list. Right
Yes.
now, yes, like now, if you have the same element again and again, then that will remove the specific occurrence of the method. Like now, if you are using remove, you need to inside the brackets, you need to pass the element or the item. And if you want to remove a specific index item, then you have to use the pop method. Right, then if you do not, that means like here, if you have to use the remove method. Right, you need to pass the item, whatever the item, and then that particular item will get removed. And then if it is not available, then that will give an error. And if you use the pop method, that would remove the last index value or the last item. If you want to remove an item at a specific index, you need to pass the index, right? Then you can remove the specific index as well. Right now, if you want to remove an item using the delete keyword, also it's possible. Delete, let's say list one. Okay, we have a list called my list. Delete my list 0th index or first index. Likewise, we can say that would delete the particular index. If you say delete my list, if you use delete my list, and then that would entirely delete the list itself. And you could use the clear as well. If you use the list name, let's say my list dot clear, my list dot clear. Now that would clear all the elements of the list. Now that's what we have discussed about. That's what we have discussed previously, right? Last week. And right. Okay, now previously also you guys like now I showed you, one of you have sent me how to remove the blank items, blank or the empty strings using list comprehension. Right now, the same thing, let's apply in order to um, print the elements of a list using uh, list comprehension. Right now, let's try out that how to do it using a list comprehension. Right now, I want to print I for I in X. Print I in X. Let's say I have some set of values here. Print I for I in X. Let's say X. We'll have it as my list. Then that would print the elements of a list. Now, this is list comprehension or the shorthand way of printing all the items in a list. You can try this one as well quickly. Right. Okay, now let's say now these values I want to add into another list. I want to duplicate my list. Okay, now not using any method, I want you to insert these values into an let's say my list. Okay, list. A new list. I want to add the values to the new list. How can I do this? Create a list called new list and add these values, copy these values to the new list. That's what I want you to do. Okay, try out using any method. Now I think, okay, if you do this now, you would have done it using like this right now. For you will have it for I in my list. That means you know to iterate through the my list, I in my list, and then all right, then we can say my new list dot append, new list dot append, then that, and then you could print the new list. Right. Okay, new list equals.
So append I
Append, yes.
is correct.
Why?
My list I
Hmm?
append.
I'm gonna iterate through the my list by element, and then I'm gonna add into another list called new list. And then new list is an empty list. Then I'm gonna use the append method. Then append method will add the element to the end. And this is how we get the values. Right. Okay, now the same thing we could have done it using right now using this list comprehension. How can you do this? Now, then we could say list lt1, list lt equals, now not to print, I want to return the I value, I for I in my list. Right. Now let's print the list as well. Right. LT is the new list. So you can see here, this is also the same thing. Right now, what you have done here, right now, you could using like now using just one line. Now this is what you call as a list comprehension. Right. And again, let's say if the number is an odd number, if the number is an odd number, or if the number is above 10, only the numbers which are greater than 10, I want to add into the new list. Okay, edit the code quickly. Try to figure it out how to do this. So now I want to edit this code just to add numbers in the my list if and only if that particular number is greater than or equals to 10. Let's say now I have 1, 2, 3, and also 9. Okay, Thargo users and me. Right, good. You know the list comprehension, no, Thargo. Then you could use list comprehension. That's what I want to teach.
So I can't understand this append I.
Sorry?
I can't understand this I append I. Here I equals 0 now?
This one?
No, above one.
Here?
Here
Okay.
I equals 0 now?
No, now this is not style. Okay, no, I is not equals to 0 here because like now this is not the range. Right now, okay, let me show you how to iterate. Okay, now in order to print the elements of a list using a for loop. Now let's say for I in my list. Now if you do it, I in my list. Right now what happens here is, and then I'm going to print the I element. And that means what? Now here it doesn't matter what you have. Let's say objects. Now these are items now. Then here, whatever the elements we have in this list, that number of times this for loop gonna run. If there are 10 items, then this loop gonna run 10 times. And each time, object by object or item by item get assigned to this variable I. Right now, let's say now, let's get rid of this.
Now I understand, sir.
Right? Okay, Jan and Feb and March. Right, and April. Okay, that's what we have. That's it. Right now, these are string objects. Let's assume these are string items. No? Then each time, now this loop will run 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times. And each time, when it is running for the first time, Jan get assigned to the variable I. And then it will print Jan. Then the next time it runs, the Feb get assigned to the variable I. Right. Then the same thing you would have done it using range command. If you want to run by the indexes, then you will say I in range. Let's say now, if you want to figure out what is the size of this one, which you don't know, we could use len my list, because then you know the size of the list. And print I means now I is just a number. Right now, if you do it, I is just a number. See, I is just a number now, 0, 1, 2, 3. Because 0, 1, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. Therefore, I in range 4 means starting from 0th index up to 4. 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, the 0th index, first index, second index, third index. If you want to access the elements by the index or the item by the index, then you have to say my list and the index number. Right, my list and the index number. Right, now this is how you could print. Now, Jan, Feb, March, April. Now using a for loop by iterating through by the index. Iterate through by index, iterate through an element or item. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, very clear.
All right. Now is this clear to you, this part?
Yes.
Right. Then I want you to add the values to the new list. If and only if that number, okay, the number. All right. Now, if let's say if this contains a, if this contains a, then only I want to add. If it contains a, I want to add that word into this new list. Right now, I have changed the question a little bit. If this elements in the my list, if it contains a, add it into a new list and then print the new list. Quickly do it. Okay, how to do this now? Right now, if you are using this for loop, then before we append, we need to check whether if what I said, I said A, no? If A is in my list, if A is in not my list, what if A is in I? If A is in I, then I need to new list that append I. And this one we could say I return I for I in my list if A in I. Right now, this is what Taruk has sent us at the beginning. Right now, right, what is it? If A in I semicolon is missing. Right now, this is how we do it using using a for loop as well as using a list comprehension. Right. Now, if you can remember to remove the empty strings, if you want to remove the empty strings from this list, edit the code. Previously, we did it. Right, but just try out. Now, only using the list comprehension, I want you to try out this, okay? Remove the empty strings from the list, my list. Right. Now, in order to do this right now, what if I right? If I will, this method will return true. This part will return true if and only if it is not an empty string. Then it will have added into the list. Right now, this is how you use the list comprehension. Right. Right. What else we have to do? And then there are certain methods that you could use. The copy. Okay. Previously, I asked you to right, take a copy of the list. No. Right now, if you want to take a copy of list, my list to LT, you could type my list dot copy. My list dot copy. My list, not you, right? My list. Using the copy method, you could copy a list my list elements to a list. Right now, let's say my list. Right now, I'm gonna have, rather than using the copy method, I'm gonna have LT1. It's easier. List 1 and LT2 equals LT1. Now I'm gonna print the LT1 and I'm gonna print the LT2 and thereafter I'm gonna pop LT1 dot append. I'm gonna say may. Now I'm gonna print LT2. Okay. Tell me what is happening. Now you can print both LT1 and LT2. Right. What will happen now? Try out and tell me quickly.
Same thing. So here L, not L2, LT2. Second line.
Sorry?
Second line
Yeah,
LT2.
LT. Yeah, LT. Yes. Sorry, my bad. Okay. Now what's gonna happen?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yes.
Okay, but I did not change. I have appended only to the list one. Why is it? I have appended only to the list 1, not for the list 2.
It is appended to LT1. LT1 is in the first line.
Yeah, I have appended
After that,
May to this one. But how comes LT2 also prints like that?
second line, it gets the copy value of LT1 to LT2.
Does it get a copy?
Copy or something, what contains as elements in the list, it gets into the LT list 2.
Yeah, what happens actually is, right, when you say LT1 equals LT2, LT2 equals LT1, that doesn't mean it takes a copy. You can't copy like that. That won't copy. Therefore, actually,
Yeah,
what is that?
object reference or something else happening.
Yes, exactly. The reference. Now, what happens is now, for an example, now LT1 and say LT2 are two reference variables. Previously, LT was referring to this list. This is where it's stored. When you say LT1 equals LT2, LT2 also refers to, or it updates the reference what LT1 is referring. That means to the same reference it updates. Then if there are some changes in LT1, now when you display the LT, when you print LT2, that also displays the same changes. Therefore, it won't copy. Therefore, whatever you do for the list 1, that means you are referring to the one object exact. Therefore, this line will only add another reference only. Therefore, you can't make a copy in that manner. If you want to take a copy, then you have to use the copy method. Right? If you want to make a copy, then you have to use a copy method. But rather using this, if you say LT2 equals LT1 dot copy, LT2 equals LT1 dot copy, now you can see you change only LT1, then that change will appear in only in LT1, not in LT2. Now that's the difference between equal sign and the copy method. Okay, after trying this, I want you to write using for loops. You know how to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, not M, it should be. And Y 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, I want to create a Z, which makes whatever I want to combine both, what are the elements in both lists. I want to add the elements using like what are the elements in both lists. I want to make it into one list. How can you do it? Right, I want to add these into another list. Now Z equals X plus Y. And then if I print Z, will this work? Try out and tell me. Is it working? What will happen now? Right now you can see you can add two lists by just using the plus operator. You can add two lists by just using the plus operator. Or else you may have to try out using a for loop. You could do this. How? For I in Y. We need to say append x dot append I, and then you can print x. X dot what x dot. Now you could do it using this. Right now, rather writing this also, rather doing this, rather doing this, we would say x dot extend, x dot extend, x dot extend y, x dot extend y. You could use the extend method to add the elements, right? These lines you should ignore or you can omit by using the extend method. Right, okay, try this quickly and thereafter we'll discuss one more method about how to sort. Right, then let's go for the how to sort. Right, let's first deal with the numbers. Let's say we have some set of numbers 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, 5, 7, 3, 9, 4, 2, 6. Right, now we have some set of numbers, and then if you want to sort this, you could say LT1 dot sort, and you could print it. you can see the array get sorted. If you want to sort in descending order, reverse equals no reverse equals true, capital T true. Right, now this is how you can sort it in reverse multiply. Numbers. Right, okay. Then try out by having some elements as some text numbers, text values, names or something, some letters, and check whether this works. Quickly try out. Now question is to sort the values, let's say. A, B, C. Right. Yeah. We have some set of values. And now you can see here, now it's sorted in alphanumeric characters as well, but you can see first it displays the capital letters. Sort the capital letters first in ascending order. Thereafter, in lowercase letters, uppercase letters first, and then the lowercase letters. And then when you sort it reverse, then descending order, lowercase first, descending order, uppercase first. When you have mix of lowercase and the uppercase letters, now this is sort. Right now, using the sort method, now you can sort numbers and the letters. Therefore, that means you can call this as this sort method will sort elements in the list alphanumerical, ascending by default. Alphanumerically ascending by default, and if you want to sort it in reverse manner, you need to type inside the brackets reverse equals true. It's a reverse equals true. Right, therefore now remember this sort method sort alphanumerical characters in ascending order by default, and also it will first sort the uppercase letters and then the lowercase letters. First uppercase and then the lowercase letters. Right, now if you want to get rid of that, we could say right now rather doing this. If you want to sort in, it doesn't matter the case, then you need to say key equals what string. Now regardless the case, it gets sorted. If you say key equals string dot lower, as a argument if you pass string str dot lower, then regardless the case, it will sort in case insensitive. Without this, if you do not pass this, then that would sort case insensitively, first lowercase, then the uppercase. Right. Right. Right, then what else we can do? We know how to delete. We know check the conditions, iterative. We know creating new list, compare to this. Yeah, any questions? If you have any questions with regards to list, you can ask now. Right now, okay. Last question, let's say. Okay, write a Python program to figure out. Let's say we have a list here, and then we have some numbers. Right now, I want you to create a new list which should display the unique values. Right? Which should display, like for an example, it should display like 1 if it is 0 times, and then 2 how many times? 2 hyphen if it is 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times, 2, 4 times, and then 3 like 0 times, 3 does not appear in a 4, 4 2 times. Likewise, I want you to display, right, the based on the values here. You need to go and check what are the values here, and find the unique values first, and then that value and the frequency it appears. Only one times appears, no? Right, one times, 2 4 times, 3 does not appear, 4 3 times, then 5 how many times? Likewise, based on the values appeared, you need to display how many times each value repeats. Okay, try to do that quickly. Right now here it will display the values. Right now here we need to plus str I plus. What's it like? Can we add the values using plus operator? Or if it is not, then we have to go for the how to concatenate. How to concatenate now? Right now, how can we concatenate? If we can't go with the plus operator, then how can we add the values? Yes, someone tell me quickly. We have discussed that. Why here we have a problem here? You can see here because previously string and this was a number. That's why it was not possible. Rather converting this also, you could use the concatenate. Right. We have discussed the count method previously. Right now, this will display how many times this was. Right, one times, 2 4 times. Okay, 2 4 times, 2 4 times. I think it's very easy.
So can you explain this
Yeah, now there's the issue. No,
sentence?
there's a problem here. Because like all the numbers appears. Okay, previous rows or the same thing has happened. Right. So not only the unique values. Why is Okay, now it does not display I not in reality. I. Right, yes, now we need to figure this out now. Here we're gonna get the frequency for the variable, whatever the number, right? And if I not in NLT, right, now this works. If I not in NLT, right. Now what I want to do is, okay, correct. What I want to do is now convert this into a string and append hyphen the end is what I want to do. Okay, n also should be a string. Okay, now why this happens? Right, when I convert this into a string, what happens now? NLT become right. Okay, now NLT becomes right. Okay, right. What happens here now? It becomes a string list. Right now, therefore, yes. Now it cannot check. Okay. Anyway, this value is not available. Okay. Now this if condition become useless when I do this. Why? Why is it? Can anyone tell me the reason behind that? Here initially, okay, let me write down. Okay, initially now, here it's gonna check whether number one. Okay, now the list contains now LT list contains, and here is the NLT. Right now it's gonna check whether elements in the LT list. LT list contains one. Now for the first time, the for loop runs through one. Then NLT, it gets the count of one, and then it gonna check whether the one is available in NLT. If the one is available in NLT, if the one is available in NLT, right now, yes, one is not available at initial. Therefore, it's gonna add one and the number of times it appears in the list. And the second value. Then it's gonna check whether two is available in the list. Whether the 2 is available in the list. Now the 2 is available in the list equation. Now the 2, yes, again, NLT2 is available? No. Then it will print 2, how many times it will, let's say 5 times. And again, it's going to check, let's say again we have 1. Again, we're going to check whether 1 is available in the new list. New list does not have 1. It has 1 4 as a one string value. And this is another string value. Therefore, again, it will give me a saying that item is not available. Therefore, again it will appear 1 this number of times likewise. Now, this is why this if condition become useless now, right? Now, how can I check whether, now we can correct this. Anyway, we can correct this. Right now, let's try to figure it out, how to correct this. Right now, without this line, it works now. Do you know that? Alright, without appending as a string, if you just append the values, This works. A new list dot append. A new list dot append I. Right now, if you do so, this will work exactly. Right. As the way we want. But when we add in this format, the elements we are adding is not comparable with this because we are comparing an integer with a string. Then here it won't return false. Therefore, that's why it's going to keep on adding all the values. Therefore, in order to avoid that, there is a ways we could do. You have to try out. Okay. I think you had a question. What was the question? Mr. Sanath, you had a question.
I wanted to know why this in the for loop second line.
This one.
If I not in NLT, that one.
Okay. Because like I want to get the unique numbers now. I want to put the only like unique numbers into new list. Therefore, if the same number appears therefore I have to make sure if I have put 1 here, then the next time when I check with 1, I want to find out whether the 1 is already available in this list or not. If it is already available, there's no point of adding it. Therefore, I'm checking if I not in list. If I is not in the new list, then only I'm going to print that number appears this number of times and I'm going to add that into the new list because that number is not in the list.
Okay, sir.
Right? Okay.
Right.
Good. Any questions? Please ask now.